cutting that last bit out.
I think it's classy.
You're listening to a hockey podcast where we talk about ice hockey and stuff. Yeah. Woo.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Is a Hockey Podcast. No, it's not. This Hockey Pod. It's changed. It's been that long since I've been here. It's changed name. It's me, Jeremy, if you didn't guess already. Joined, as ever, by the wonderful Channelle. Channelle, how are you?
Channelle is good. She's good. She had a lot to take in this week, right? With the trades and everything and Kraken.
I'll be honest, I struggle to keep up with it.
Oh.
It's been a scene.
A lot. It's a lot, guys.
Yeah, it's
so
a lot.
Just bear with us.
I was about, if we miss something, let us know, but we're sorry ahead. We might try and catch up next week, but
yeah,
as
we
you guys
prioritized some stuff.
Yeah, but it's been a lot. But Molly is not here this week, unfortunately. She's had her second jab and is feeling a little bit under the weather. So we wish her well, and we look forward to her returning. That's the beauty of a three-man booth, though, right? One drops out, two can carry on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That's why we're here. Perfect. All right, so shall we just jump right in, Channelle?
Let's do it. Might as well.
Let's do it. All right, so as of recording, the draft happened last night, and when this is released, the Friday just gone. What happened? Did it just happen?
Yeah, yesterday was the first round. And you know, it was a little different this year because not everyone was able to scout because of COVID. So It was kind of all over the place. It wasn't as point blank as you would think. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was more like, oh, this person chooses this person. Oh, really? This person was projected a little bit lower, but okay.
Yeah. It was more just we accept where they fall this year.
Exactly.
It was that kind of year. No consensus over a number or whatever.
No,
but,
just 1 and 2 were obvious, you know?
Yeah. But as you can probably tell by how we're talking about it, we're not really going in depth in it because it literally just happened last night. We haven't really had enough time to sort of dive into it and give you any worthwhile thoughts about it. So we may bring it up next week if there's any standout things apart from one player. Do you want to just mention that?
Yeah, if I pronounce his name, Logan Mailloux. He was drafted in the first round by the Habs.
That is a thing that happened.
That is a thing that happened. I mean, I know the people listening know about this story, so we don't have to go into detail. But yeah, he specifically asked no one to draft him, or he asked everyone to not draft him, rather. Yeah, he understood, or at least we think that he understands what his actions have caused. And he wanted to take a year off to reflect, to learn, to get counseling. And he asked that the teams respect his wishes. And the Habs didn't do that. They drafted him in the first round. And from what I'm hearing, a couple of other teams also wanted to draft him in the second round. So I guess the Habs just said, let's just go for it. Let's take all the scrutiny, the heat, and just draft this player who didn't even want to be drafted this year, per se. I don't know. It's a bad look considering Bergevin's already in trouble in hot water for the Chicago incident.
I was about to say, with that couples with Chicago, it's not a good PR look for the NHL at the moment.
Oh my God. So I think the argument here is that Logan should be held accountable, although I don't think his career should be ruined for life or anything. I know I understand he's young. I get that. But people are yelling, give him a second chance. Well, let us have the moment to give him a second chance. The second chance doesn't come within a week.
No.
Give him time like he asked, and then we can reevaluate. And maybe, let's be real, he's a male in hockey. He will be drafted in the next year guaranteed if had no one picked him.
No, of course not. He was
He's
always
fine.
going to be near the top, no matter what year.
Hmm.
What year he was going to be drafted. So like everyone could chill out a little bit.
A lot of hurt could have been avoided, on all fronts.
Could Montreal just be thinking, let's take him now? We won't bring him into the system for a year. We'll give him back time. We just want to hold on to his rights. Could that be what they're thinking?
Oh,
I
it's
know
100%.
obviously. Yeah, I know. Like obviously, the optics are horrible even with that thinking, but that's probably the most innocent way of thinking about it.
No, exactly what you said. I think that's exactly what they were thinking, and it's not necessarily good.
No.
It's a tough. Me as a woman, I don't think it's a tough situation. Hold off, and
but Channelle,
wait
women don't belong in hockey.
No. Get out of here.
We're referencing
woman.
something, by the way, guys. Don't come at me.
Yeah. Yes, I've gotten a lot of heat for my opinion on Logan on the internet today, and I am drained from it. But you know what? It's okay. I'm still positive. I still love you all. And, this is what we're here for, opening conversations up. And hopefully the NHL stops being a breeding ground for this kind of behavior. We want to change that. Yes, you can turn off the TV. Yes, you don't have to buy jerseys anymore. That's your decision. However, there are a lot of decent hockey players with good personalities, who love women, who love everyone, no matter what. And I want to support them.
I mean, the Lady Bing exists for a reason, right?
Exactly. Well, there you go. I don't want to bore you all with that, but...
No, we'll just leave on, don't be a prick on social media. I think that's what we can take away from that.
And love women.
Yeah, of course. That goes without saying. So, that's probably the biggest drama that happened at the draft that we're going to be talking about, right? Nothing else?
No, not really.
Well, it wasn't the only draft that happened this week. 2 drafts in a whole week. We are spoiled as hockey fans.
Spoiled
so
and tired.
Obviously, Seattle Kraken are a real team now. They're no longer this aloof organization that no one knows how to pin down. They have players. They're playing next year against Golden Knights, first night of the new season. That'll be fun to watch. What did he think of it? What did he think?
Yeah, I think it was good because, a lot of people were arguing that the Kraken were going to be stacked to the tits.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to what Vegas had, but I think the reason Vegas got so many good players was because the managers were bamboozled, Hey, pick this player and protect this one for us, please. Take this player and don't touch this player. But then that player ended up being even better than the player they were trying to protect,
I mean, it was the first expansion draft in almost 20 years for the Vegas one. So obviously, most of the GMs are still in position since then. So they've learned. So, but there was still some highly sought after players unprotected at the draft. But a surprising lack of star power that was eventually selected, if I do say so myself. I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed, yet I have a different perspective on it. I think this team looks as it should for an expansion draft.
But that's the thing with Vegas. I know we just said GMs have learned since then, but they still had like an exciting product. I look at Seattle and I'd go like, they're a team. And that's not exactly what you want to be thinking. Like Mike Giordano, great player, but he's not a ticket driver, right? Don't want to be too harsh on the guy, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree. He is the bigger player on the team.
Yeah. And then you get players like, who was it? Yanni Gord from Tampa Bay. And so you got you got good players on the team. But there's no like headline players.
No, I think they're thinking, all right, let's be a long-term team.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Yeah, long-term. They have a lot of young. Yeah, yes. One kid was born in 2000.
No, nope, not accepting it.
So,
I know.
it's a
I
young
mean,
team. A lot of 90s babies on this team, which I love.
yeah, the
But I agree
correct
with you.
age.
The right age, yes.
But I think, but the big player wasn't selected, who everyone thought would be on the move.
Yeah, what a tempting pick there. Carey Price. I think he should have been picked.
I think he should have been picked too, especially because this week he's gone under, was it ankle surgery or hip?
Yeah, it was ankle, and then
Ankle.
his hip was evaluated.
Got you. So he went under surgery this week, but has already been predicted to be playing on the opening night.
Mhm.
So I just look at that. I know he's 10.5 million on the cap. I still think you take him.
Yeah,
I think that was a missed opportunity right there.
I absolutely agree. And look at their cap hit right now. They have so much room, and they
Yeah.
could have definitely afforded Carey Price for sure.
I mean, Vitek Vanacek?
Vanacek.
That guy. Yeah. Him or Carey Price. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting because even if Carey Price is obviously aging, he's not going to be as good
No, of course not.
as
But-
before, and he's got a lot of years on this contract. But he's a leader. He's a good playoff goalie.
We say this exactly. He's a good player. I still say he's the reason the Canadians made the finals.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you got a player of that caliber who's still playing at that level, and you don't pick him. I was very confused. But not only that, okay, so you may not want to take Carey Price, but you don't even take Tarasenko when he's on offer either. You don't take two of a ticket movers, shall we label them?
Tarasenko, I believe, was injured for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it seems like a touchy, maybe he will, maybe he won't be better. Like I think it's more risky to take Tarasenko than it is Carey Price.
I agree. I agree with that. I think if you don't take one, you take the other. Just as a new franchise, I think that's the play.
You're also looking you're looking for face as well.
Yeah. Well, that's my point. It's like I look at the NHL a lot from that sort of point of view, of that sort of business, sort of outside look kind of thing. And I just think, I know Seattle's been wanting a team forever, so I don't think they'll have. They're obviously not going to have trouble selling tickets to begin with. But like that sort of January, February time, like when everything's like, oh, it's just a regular season game kind of moment.
Yeah.
That's when you need, we got this star player, let's go see them, even though it's like nothing to do in January time. But we could be looking very short-sighted at this. I think it is a good team. It's, as we said, it's a young team, and they're definitely going to win some games to start with.
Team, I like the look. I think I see a little bit deeper than some people because we were discussing before the podcast. I'm very analytic. Yeah. I see things and I see future. I see the future. See, so we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be exciting that Vancouver's finally going to get a real rival.
Hell yeah! About time. Cool. It's been a while since San Jose kept on meeting them in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's good for them to finally have a rival in the regular season.
It is very interesting because you take a look at this roster, you can tell they're going to be very defensive compared to Vancouver, who's very forward. So I'm interested to see how that matchup's going to look like.
I think they're going to. I don't think it's going to be exciting this year, but I think in the next 2 to 3.
Actually, that was my next question. Playoffs, how far, how close?
They're going to make it because they're in the Pacific.
They're going to make it?
They're in the Pacific, man. That is
that is
a dog shit.
That's a good freaking point.
I think like Vegas is probably the only lock that you can comfortably say right now is going to make it again. Everyone else is sort of up in the air because obviously Colorado's moved back to the Central, I think. So yeah, with the division going back to normal, I think they're going to be third or fourth. I don't think it's quite second. They're not going to be second best team in there. But I think they'll at least slip in.
That's a good point. Oh man, I'm really excited for the season to begin already. I'm over it. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm like, get August out of the way. Come on.
And
so I have to say though, I was rather disappointed in the lead up to this whole Shazam presentation event.
Jeremy,
because hockey inside. What?
I had planned my night out. I was so excited for this draft. I got some snackies and I got some booze, and I ended up doing none of it because I was already freaking bored.
Oh, you didn't even go through it?
No.
Oh, wow.
It was too boring.
So
I'm being a baby, but
I don't think you're being a baby when the insiders in hockey literally just say, I'm hearing so-and-so's already been selected. It was a good 4 hours before the actual draft, right?
Yeah.
And I get the argument. Don't go on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like this is wrestling where it's predetermined, right? Where, fair enough, storylines are already out there. This is like, how long has Seattle been like waiting for this? A good while. It's been a good couple years at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4 hours before the expansion draft, you know all the selections
leaked, all of them almost. Actually, all of them did.
Yeah, even with the trades, there was I don't think there was any surprises at all.
No.
And then the actual presentation, I thought, was a bit ramshackle.
It was chaotic.
For an ESPN broadcast new team, it did feel a bit like, the NHL is the fourth largest league in the North America.
I don't know. I only know the NHL right now, so.
No, I'm just saying it looks small fry compared to like the NFL and.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like the actual presentation was budget. And then ESPN calling Carolina the Panthers. What?
That was hilarious. There were some funny moments. I will say that.
I love the fact they ran with it on Twitter.
Oh,
that was some good fun. Yeah.
It confused me a couple of times there. I was like, okay, what teams, what?
I'll be honest, because I didn't watch it because it was quite late in England anyway. But I was quite confused when I logged onto the Hockey Pod Twitter account. I just saw this like drawing with Carolina Hurricanes. I was like, have we followed a fake account? But no, that was all good fun. But I think for the start of the ESPN TV broadcast, trying to get it in front of more people, it was a bit disappointing.
So for the NHL as well, though, because the NHL, they want more people watching hockey and getting involved, especially with a new franchise. What is this? They shouldn't have let insiders in the room when they were making these decisions, or I don't know. You got to add some element of surprise. Come on. It's fun. It's supposed to be an event.
I mean, I'm not saying, oh my God, journalism. No.
No.
Any of that weird stuff. Like, do your job's fine. But I think there has to be an agreement, maybe, of because what is it? Video games have embargoes on reviews, right? I think there could be an agreement of it's an expansion draft trying to drum up support. Just put an embargo on reporting that for a few hours.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
I think so. And
I think we're talking about a problem that's not going to be
an issue for
a good long time. So
yeah, exactly. It's just annoying while it happened.
Let us vent, people.
Jeez, it was frustrating. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we had 2 drafts, and people were on tenterhooks because of the trades that could happen with Seattle. But my word, not only with Seattle, were there trades going on throughout this entire weekend? or run up to the weekend. I don't know. I've still got COVID. Leave me alone. I'm confused. But man, I haven't been able to keep up.
Gosh. So many trades. And like we said, we're going to just prioritize as best we can.
Yes. Sorry if we don't talk about your team.
Yeah. Come on.
Leave us alone. We're trying.
Let's just talk about maybe Seth Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the trade was that Chicago received Seth Jones, a 2021 first-round pick, and a 2022 sixth-round pick for Adam Boquist, and a 2021 first-round pick, second-round pick, and a 22 conditional first round. That's a lot. There was a lot.
Yeah.
In that trade, and there is a condition that if Chicago wins one of the draft lotteries in 2022, the pick becomes their 2023 first round pick. I mean, did you follow that? I don't know. You can look.
It sounds like they learned from San Jose's mistake about just giving an unprotected draft pick to Ottawa. So fair play to them.
Yeah, well, what is your thought on this trade in general? Like Jones. Jones is obviously the ticket item.
I mean, Seth Jones is obviously the boy. I mean, there's been rumors of him wanting to get out of Columbus, right? This isn't out for blue.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Or am I wrong? That is right.
No. Columbus knew Jones was not planning on re-signing.
Yeah.
He was upfront with that.
Yeah, we were saying at the beginning of this whole podcast that Chicago were in a rebuild. They obviously sent out the letter to all the ticket holders, all that kind of stuff. It seems like they played surprisingly well for a rebuild of that sort of magnitude for the past year. I was surprised, but they're making plays. You know, they're getting damn good defensemen. Not a lot. You know, like for what they had to give up, I thought it was actually pretty decent. Like a first round pick next year for swapping first round picks this year, which is, you know, inconsequential really, for a player you already know is very high NHL caliber, instead of risking it on a draft pick that might not pan out. I love it for Chicago. I feel sorry for Columbus fans after having that sort of I would say small cup window, but very exciting playoff runs for a few years, and then out of nowhere, sort of everything's blown up. It's like, where's the team gone?
I have a lot to say about Columbus, and I think we're gonna keep that for like when we're ready to get into the new season, when we inevitably
a preview of the teams.
Predictions like we did in February. That's gonna be fun. In terms of Seth Jones, I think it was a good move, like you said. I think that Columbus played well. They traded him while he's still valuable. And Chicago had already extended his contract, 8 years for 9.5?
I mean, that's long. I don't like how long these contracts are in the NHL in general. I think that would be ridiculous. But I think for his play of 9.5, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's the only thing for me, is that this contract's going to end when he's like, I don't know, 30.
Yeah, I don't know why the NHL just insists on giving 9-10-year contracts.
Yes,
I see it, but I'm all for player security and all that stuff. But I see this in no other league. It's ridiculous.
It is funny. They've already knocked it down, because if you're with another team, you can sign up to 7 years, but if you're with your initial team, it's 8 years max. Whoever you sign
still a hell of a long contract.
So long. It's so long, especially when you're already in your late 20s.
Yeah. Anyway.
But he's good. But he's a good player. He truly is a complete defenseman who knows not only how to defend, but how to score.
And he gets to play with his brother, so chemistry's off the roof.
Yep. And although his last 2 years haven't been amazing, he still gets up to 30 points. It's just more so.
Look at that Columbus Thibault. I mean, fair play to him for the last year.
Oh yeah, no, I think that he's going to find, success with Columbus. That's my opinion. They are a defensive team.
Also, if your defenseman's getting 30 points, I don't care if he's like offensive defenseman or whatever. I'm happy with that as long as he plays solid in the back.
I normally agree with you, Jeremy. See, this is
Yeah.
our one disagreement.
Yeah.
I don't really care about plus or minus. Okay, like sometimes it's not really good to use it. However, this year the plus or minus was very accurate for Jones. Not that great. I think it was like high 20s plus minus.
Okay.
And the argument was that last year he was not very good defensively, and it really costed them a lot.
I didn't really watch Columbus play that much, so
Right.
fair
Oh,
enough.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm letting you know then.
Yeah.
But that's not to say he's gonna pick up from there. Like, obviously, it can change. People have bad years.
Again, even though I didn't watch him profusely, it was still not the best team. So let's give him a season in Chicago.
Yeah, let's give it a.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no,
Well,
I think Chicago don't lose much in the first round pick. Essentially, is what they gave up as well as the player, and I think but Columbus, they need that kind of return. So I think it was a win-win on both sides. To wrap it up,
I agree.
yeah. So there's been some weird cap clearing trades that I'm not super in agreement with. Also,
No.
so I think we're gonna lump the Canucks getting Oliver Ekman-Larsson from Arizona with the New York Islanders Andrew Ladd trade into like one discussion, because I don't like these trades at all. I did. It's like I can get past Vancouver. I disagree heavily with the NHL allowing the Islanders trade.
Okay.
Like, I'm all for cap clearance, right? I think it's part of the league, especially in a flat cap. Don't get me wrong. I understand GMs are in a bit of a pickle this year. I get it. I just don't think a trade as brazen as sending a player, a second round pick, next year's second round pick, and a conditional third round pick for nothing in return. I just don't think that should be allowed. I think there should at least be a cursory draft pick on the other way, a sixth round pick or something. I just think for nothing in return is just ridiculous.
I disagree slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that the Islanders definitely needed cap space, and that Andrew Ladd contract, it's kind of gnarly. He's non-existent. So 2 years of spending, so that's almost $9 million for literally nothing. What's the difference? Spending money, getting nothing, like you're not able to make moves because you don't have that extra cap space, or dumping that contract, letting them take Ladd. They're not going to be able to use him anyways, and giving them 2 picks. The third one, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to be able to get the third round pick in 2023. I think he's going to retire by then.
It's a third round pick. I think that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. But
no, I'm not disagreeing in the sense of trades to move cap space. That's not what I'm saying. I just disagree with the absolutely nothing in return aspects of it. I just don't like that. On a personal level, when I see that, I'm just like, at least try to have optics on it. Send a 6th round pick back.
Right. I'm wondering if they did try.
Yeah.
And they didn't get anything because, hey, we're taking your ugly contract and we can't even use him. We're going to spend so much money on this and get our picks, which is something that we want, obviously. No.
I get it. I absolutely get it. I just, when I see for nothing in return, I'm just like, hang on, what's going on here? That's ridiculous. That's
actually, the way you feel about that is exactly the same way I feel about Jostisbehere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Flyers have future considerations. However, Jostisbehere is still playing. He's still good. And,
No, I'm just thinking that is a weird one, that one.
Yeah.
Like, cap space, but that's a really good player.
Absolutely. So that one's strange for me. Okay, Philly's on its own freaking level. I don't know what's happening with Philly right now. It's so much. There's so much going on with Philly. But before we get on to that,
mate, I swear, for the past couple of years, every cap space trade we've seen involves Arizona in some way. It's ridiculous.
I know. I'm wondering,
what is
are they gonna get like some really cool players in the future? Like, what's going on here? They're thinking far, far down.
I mean, they're thinking far, far down, and then they're doing it every 2 to 3 years, pushing it down the road again.
Yeah.
So they trade. Okay, so this also is in relation to the Vancouver trade, isn't it? So Vancouver got Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Connor Garland for a bunch of fourth liners to clear cap space. But fourth liners that don't produce, that are quite expensive, and a first round pick this year, second round pick next year, and a 2023 7th round pick.
Yeah.
So you've essentially just traded out Oliver Ekman-Larsson for Shane Goddesbear, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they were saying Ekman-Larsson was looking a bit shaky in his 30s, so maybe they're onto something there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a wild free trades, basically. I think.
In terms of Vancouver themselves, I think, it's great that the Canucks dumped all their worst contracts on the Yotes.
I mean, I know Ekman-Larsson has a ridiculous contract, but I think
he's solid
for where they are. I think it's fair enough to bet on him rebounding with that contract. I'd rather spend that type of money on a contract where you could have a world-class defenseman instead of how many was it? 4 fourth liners that don't produce ever, that are scratches. Fair enough. I'm just pointing out the Islanders trade stinks for me, and Arizona's just always involved in cap space. So there you go.
Also, this is going back and forth because we're trying to because there's a lot of like interchangeable, or there's some interweaving more so of teams and players. But the one thing I do want to say about Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Vancouver Canucks is, they get a solid defenseman in him, and he is interchangeable between the first and second pairing. Hughes is great as well, so they're not going to be on the same pairing, obviously, because they're kind of different, so they should not be paired together, or the same more so. Anyways, what I'm saying is that he can be fitting anywhere, and they added $12 million to their cap space, so his contract is not necessarily hurting them. I'll say that.
No, I think it's worth the risk. I think obviously you need to take risks as a GM sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a valid one. If I was a Vancouver fan, I wouldn't be bemoaning this one too much.
No, exactly.
It's not like you've got ridiculous amount of years like Erik Karlsson.
Oh my God. Honestly, I was telling Molly that we all need to get a podcast dedicated to our team, because I do have a lot to say about San Jose.
Oh, yeah.
But I never have, because I'm like, it's your team. Go off.
Go off, King.
Oh my gosh.
So, Arizona involved in a lot of trades.
Yeah, again, like always.
Always.
Are they ever gonna just be a team to beat? I mean,
when they move to Quebec, that's when.
Okay, let's see. Actually, you know what? This is good for me because I have Austin Matthews and I don't want to lose him to his hometown or his home team. Okay, what about, what do you think, Jeremy, on Rasmus Ristolainen to Philly?
He went.
Congratulations.
He sure went there. I missed this one.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I will say congratulations to Buffalo. You finally did something good. This trade favors Buffalo greatly because they received a competent defenseman in Robert Hägg and 2 picks, 2 solid picks.
When did this trade go down?
This happened yesterday.
Oh yeah, I was in a fever dream yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's probably why you missed it then. It was kind of a hot topic, honestly, because people are saying, "What are you doing, Philly? Like, why would you want Ristolainen?" Because
what are
think
you
about this.
doing?
What are you doing? Like, think about this. I was just telling you about, they traded off Justin. Oh my God, Justice
Names.
Names.
Nice.
Justice Bear for nothing. And think about this. They gave up him. They gave up second round, a 7th round pick, as well as Robert Haig, as well as a 1st round pick and another 2nd round pick, all for Rasmus.
I'll be honest. I'm pleased Buffalo got something finally.
They
deserve it. God damn it.
Oh my God. Especially because everyone's probably leaving. It's looking like Eichel's getting traded too.
Yeah, I thought that would have happened by now. I thought it would have happened at the first night of the draft.
Probably a lot of things to consider.
It's a
money.
big trade.
It's money. I do think it's money. I mean, he deserves it. He's a really, really good player. He just can't flounder.
He's horrendously underrated because he's in Buffalo. That's the problem.
That's the issue. And that's where I'm wondering. I'm wondering if Philly is confident in Ristolainen's performance outside of Buffalo. Because he did have potential. He was good at some point, So we'll see. I'm interested in this. I want to see where the hell this goes. Will he be good? Or what? If not, we should just honestly kick all the players off of Buffalo.
Start again.
Eat that game. Exactly. Give these
you
poor
go to
players
Quebec, not Arizona.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, as I said, I was in a fever dream yesterday, so I have nothing to say apart from well done, Buffalo. Proud of you.
Yeah.
But I do know you have a lot to say about a Carolina trade, though. Okay, let's warm up for this one.
Rubbing my hands together. Come on. I can't believe the Canes right now. The listeners. If you don't know, I'm a Caniac. That's my second favorite team. I love them. I adore them. And what the fuck? Are they on crack? I don't understand what's going on right now. So, rumor has it both Mrazek and Reimer are not signing with the Canes. So why would you sell your young, talented goaltender? By the way, if people are unaware, Detroit, gave up Bernier and a 2021 3rd round pick to the Canes for Alex Nedeljkovic. Why? Anyways,
I was about to say you try that one. I'm not even going to attempt.
We call him Ned here. We call him Ned.
Okay, Ned. Okay.
Listen, Ned was literally a candidate for the Calder Trophy last season. Goalies don't normally get that honor at all. And you trade him for Bernier? I mean, I'm not saying that Bernier's bad. He is good. He's actually a good goalie. But he's aging. And I just don't understand. And they still have to
negotiate a contract with him as well.
Exactly, a contract, and then you're losing, like I said, your other top 2 goalies. And I just don't understand what's happening. They lose Geeky to Seattle, then they trade Jake Bean. They really said, screw all the young players. All of you, we don't care about our future. We don't care about long-term success. We're all in for the cup
now.
How could you do this to Sebastian Aho? I'm so... My poor child. Honestly, if you want to make it, and you're going to agree with me here, I think. If you want to make it to the finals, you are going to need a solid goaltender. Look at the pattern. Binnington, Vazzy again. And then even look at Price. He like you said, he brought the Habs to the finals. You need a goaltender. I am over this and I'm done.
Oh, okay. Because I did see the sort of other argument about it was that he took 7 years to crack the roster. He had a good playoff series. That was about it. That was the only other argument, really. But it took him a while. Well, but still on that argument, it's like, well, it takes people different lengths of time. That could have been his breakout performance. He can carry it on.
Exactly. It doesn't feel like a matter of fact. Like it's not like he's not going to be good.
Yeah, I'm still struggling on this one. I'm really trying to think of it from a salary cap roster perspective. But he's still because they were worried about arbitration going and him getting $3.5 million a year, and I'm confused on why that's a concern.
That's my question. What the hell is the concern in that? Was it 3 point? I thought it was.
Well, the arbitration was going to be 3.5. He ended up getting 3 from Detroit for a 2-year contract.
Yeah, actually, there you go. That's what it was. Canes offered him 1.5.
What? I didn't hear how much they offered him.
Low ball. Are you kidding me? It's a slap.
Get that bag in Detroit. What the hell? That is bad. That is bad.
Yeah.
Like the Carolina front office have been doing good things recently, right? But that they dropped the ball on that one. I can't see another way around it.
I'm trying to do they have something they're not telling us? Is there a long-term plan? Are they planning? Yeah, they offered him 1.5.
I think they're going all in on the cup window they got now. So I think they're trying to sort of, because they said they're spending to the cap. They're not trying to save money. They're trying to allocate it in the right places, I think is what they're trying to spin it as. So they didn't want to spend 3.5 on a young, unproven, like quotes, unproven, air quotes on that one, goaltender, when they could get a veteran on maybe similar or less, and then put the other money towards a better player in a different position. But I still don't see that. I don't see that argument
it really
holding
does.
water.
It blows my mind because, no offense, but where did they falter? Think about this. The Canes, where was their issue? Honestly, sometimes goaltending. And they haven't made it that far in the rounds because of it. And I think it's necessary. I don't know. Just like everyone else, this seems very weird.
Especially in his performance against Nashville. The amount of overtimes, double OTs that he managed to take them to. Doesn't matter who won each. Oh boy, I don't get it.
It's not like he's Binnington, asking for like whatever his contract is after a good run in his freaking.
What did Binnington ask for?
I don't know. Binnington is worth a lot, I believe, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, because he won the cup, though, right? So.
Okay. That's what I'm going to say on that one.
We're not a Binnington fan here,
No, I wouldn't say that. No. As in, I wouldn't say we're a fan. I agree with you. Oof. Boof.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed in this move because as a Canes fan, I get it. I want to see you guys win the cup at some point. Not if, obviously I want the Leafs to win the cup, but you know what I mean.
Of course.
If it's not me, I hope it's you.
If the Maple Leafs can't, you take it.
Exactly. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And honestly, I don't. If it doesn't work out, they're not set up. They're not set up for the future. They're gonna make a big fall. It's not gonna be a casual, slow decline. It's gonna be a skip and a jump.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel. I have to throw in 2 things here because it just happened.
Yep.
Cam Atkinson is heading to Philly.
Okay.
From Columbus. So that is interesting because it's literally a trade for a trade. It's Jacob Voracek to Philly and Cam Atkinson to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So
sorry, Jacob.
Well, I mean, his contract is nasty too. Oh my god, $8 million.
What is that? Voracek?
Yeah.
Oh, so fair enough. Get good on Philly on that one.
And he still has 3 years left. 8 mil, 3 years. Obviously, I mean, if I'm looking at that, I'm going to assume it's
So I'm just looking at the press release from Philadelphia. Can I just say thank you whoever writes these up for putting the phonetic way of saying the surnames on the trade details. That's great.
Wait, what?
Philadelphia on the press release put the phonetic way of saying the names.
Oh, phonetic. Oh, okay, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Phonetic.
I love that.
But no, that's good. I can already, off the top of my head, I think that's a good trade.
Yeah, it's an eye for an eye, and you know,
So,
take our younger player.
Columbus is in full will take salary cap hit with rebuilding mode.
Exactly.
Fair.
Holy crap. As we were talking, trades happened.
Yeah.
Like lower ones, I guess, because
yeah, I think the big boys have finished apart from an Eichel trade.
well, Sam Reinhart just got traded to Buffalo. Or sorry, from Buffalo.
Yeah. Hello.
Sorry, it was being weird. Yes, Sam Reinhart is going to Florida now. That was something that was already in the works and we all knew, but it's official now, just so everyone knows.
Literally live podcasting here with everything live.
This is A+ content right here, bud.
Oh my god. Like and subscribe.
Yeah. And I was sad that Molly couldn't come because I did want to hear her opinion on Cale Makar signing with or extending for 6 years for $9 million.
Oh my god! Again, the long years.
I'm mixed about this because that's crazy. 6 years, $9 million. Whoa. But on the other hand, Cale Makar has already won the Calder Trophy, and he was also a finalist last year for the North. So 2 years back to back, making waves. I can see him being. I mean, he's so important for the Avs. Therefore, this contract, although long and expensive, it seems like that's what it's going to average out to in the end. He is going to earn his contract. I know it.
I think the takeaway from this podcast is Jeremy doesn't think any big money contracts over 5 years is worth it. That's just all I'm going to say.
I feel that way, though. I do. I think long-term contracts are very risky, and I don't love them.
No.
Mm-mm. So I agree, but yeah, this one feels like there's an asterisk on this one for me.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that's about it for this week, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of movement in the NHL.
A lot.
A lot. Hard to keep up sometimes, but we did. I think.
I think so. It was chaotic, but if you're still here, thanks.
If you, as we said, if you didn't hear your favorite team or the trade you wanted, sorry, but we tried. But yeah, I think we'll be back next week. I think we're going to start our off-season schedule next week in terms of topics, which we will release soon this week. And if you want to be kept up to date, do follow This Hockey Pod at This Hockey Pod. It's all one thing now. We did this for a reason on Twitter. So give that a follow. We're good fun. And where can we find you, Channelle?
At Channelle LV on Twitter. Don't follow me on TikTok because I'm deleting that.
Oh, she out there. Well, you can follow me at Walker Media on Twitter. And do like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and rate it 5 stars, as well as subscribing to the podcast on any audio providers. We are on all of them, including iTunes, Spotify, and all that good stuff. But I think that's about it. Anything else? Any last minute?
Yeah, don't forget to follow Molly too.
Oh yeah.
It's _Molly.
Molly. All right. Yeah, give us all a follow, including the podcast. 5 stars, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But thank you. Have a good week, guys and girls.
You're listening to a hockey podcast where we talk about ice hockey and stuff. Yeah.